Okay, just a quick video here. I'm replacing door speakers on a 2013 Veloster. And there's actually a good amount of information out on the web because these speakers are pretty notorious for poor quality, build quality. I guess they sound okay. We just got the car, so as soon as we got it, this speaker was buzzing really badly. So, but they're known, to fail, and people go back and have the dealer replace them under warranty, and then they fail again, and they start this cycle of, having to keep going back. So what I decided was I'm going to put a good quality aftermarket speaker in here, and there's a lot of info on how to go about this, but there's a few gaps in the information that I found, and I actually had to even ask a question on a message board. But let me just go over a few things that were a little confusing when I needed to address this. First of all, the door panel's off. That's simple to find that information. A lot of good videos on YouTube. I'll put a link in mine. So once you get the door open, you're faced with the OEM speaker, which is mounted in this frame, which is riveted to the door frame. So, a lot of people are drilling out these rivets, removing the frame, making their own, adapter with MDF or whatever, and, trying to figure out what kind of clearance they have behind here so that the new speakers don't interfere with the window. And other people are hacking this old speaker out and keeping the frame here and just using this as their adapter. So I like that idea just because it's easier, quicker, and but there wasn't a lot of information about once you get this speaker out, what does it look like there? Like, is there enough material on this standoff to bolt the new speaker on? So I was able to find one piece of information, and I'm still not certain. Until I remove this, I won't really know for sure. So I'm going to do that here, and so if anybody has a question, once this is removed, you'll be able to see exactly what's here. So that's one thing. We'll do that now. I'm going to start hacking into this and then Dremel out the frame so we see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, you can see I hacked out the cone. So you got here's your frame and voice coil and some leftover foam here. So let's cut this out. Alright, I'm going to get a Dremel and I'm going to cut each one of these, and I'll clip this wire and we'll get that out of there and see what we got. You can catch a little bit of this. There it is. We'll clean this up and come back. Alright, just so you guys see what I'm doing, I've got Infinity Kappa 60.11 CS components that I'm replacing the OEM speakers with. And so these, I've got a tweeter and this driver, and I'm going to replace both. And just one more bit of information that wasn't super clear is that the frequency range that each one of these speakers, the tweeter and this, get from the HU and the amp is already EQ'd. So they're not getting full range, okay? They're already, the frequency range is limited to what the OEM driver was designed for. So, the Infinities come with a crossover. I'm not going to use it because really what I would need is a full range signal to put into that crossover to be able to use it, you know, properly. And I don't have that. So all I'm doing is replacing speakers. The tweeter, the Infinity tweeter will replace the OEM, and this driver will replace the OEM. And the frequency range that comes out of the stock head unit amp is going to each one of these speakers. And if you're doing this, you probably read that the OEMs are 2 ohm speakers. And yeah, this is a 2 ohm. What's interesting is the tweeter had a 4 ohm stamp on it, and this driver has a 2 ohm stamp. The Infinities are 2 ohm speakers, but they're a little funky. I think it's a little higher than that. And actually, I think the 2 ohm is when you use the crossover. So together, both speakers give a load of 2 ohms or thereabouts. And because I'm using it separately without the crossover, I'm not certain, you know, if I'm going to have any issues with, you know, limited volume or whatever. I put my ohm meter on both speakers and I get about 3.3 ohms. So I should be in the range, and I can use the fader on the OEM head unit to, you know, play with the sound. So I think I should be good. But anyway, that's a little extra info. Not sure if you guys, if that's helpful or not. Alright, just a quick update. I've done the wiring. It looks really ugly with the tape, but it's soldered properly, and I'm not worried about it. And I've drilled 4 holes here using the speaker as a template. So the next shot should be with the speaker installed. Alright, here it is installed, and I just closed the door and turned the radio on to listen to it, and boy, it does not sound that great. It's just getting a very limited frequency range, and you know, this is probably a little less efficient than the OEM. So I mean, I'm not sure until I get the tweeter in. Really can't compare left and right, because when I use the balance and compare the driver's side, it's got the tweeter, but just listening to the lows, there's just not a lot of thump or much going on. There's just not a lot of power, and you know, and who knows what the actual frequency range is that's going to the speaker. So anyway, let me finish the install. I'm curious, once I have the tweeter in, you know, then try to compare left and right what it's going to sound like. So we'll be back. I completed the tweeter install. It was super easy. I just removed the old tweeter out of the mount and put the Infinity tweeter in, and then I put like a little strap across the back to hold it in nice and secure. You could probably use hot glue or something. Super easy. So everything's back in. I just tried left and right balance to compare the two sides, and honestly, there's not a huge difference. When I get the other side done and I have, you know, quality speakers up front, we'll see if, you know, it makes any significant difference to the sound. But bottom line is, these speakers are capable of so much better sound than what they're getting. The source is the problem. I'm going to see if we can live with it when I'm done. If we can't, I might just, you know, be looking for another solution to give these speakers a really good quality signal. So you might see another video. We'll see. But hopefully we answered some questions here with a replacement. It was really easy, by the way. I heard like a lot of people complain how difficult this was. It's not. You saw it. It's super easy. So anyway, hopefully this helps.